I'm still working on this Stuart beam engine model, and today I'm going to make a go at a job I've been putting off forever, which is to make, I haven't counted them properly, but around 20 7BA studs for attaching the covers and the steam chests and whatnot. I haven't fully counted them all, but there's at least 20. So that's what we're going to do, and to do that we're using some appropriate diameter steel in the collet, homemade die runner on our homemade arbor here in the end, 2 mils taper on the end. This is, for this job, this is where I find the variable speed motor with the electronic speed control a total boon, because using the jog function and the reverse function and just pressing start with the speed set to a slow setting, it just spins slowly, and you run the die along, cut the thread, part off and do the other end. Boring? Yeah, I should say so. I only have a cheap Chinese collet, which is manual, no quick release here. Bad practice, I know, but it's quick. Just rounding the end of the bar so that the end of the stud looks round when it's finished. Painfully slow, I know, but I did get a lot quicker at it once I got into the swing of it, after about number 19. And I still haven't sorted out the squeaky drive belt. The reason for running the nut on the end is that this collet has a nasty habit of springing the bar back into the collet as you release it, so that you can't then get hold of it, the bar, and you have to undo the collet to extract everything. Obviously the nut just stops that happening. And my fingers are getting a bit old, and I seem to struggle a bit to screw the studs into the castings. And I used to have, well, probably still do have, some things I made up, stud runners, just tapped appropriately at the end and put the stud in it and screw them down. The only minor issue, since I had to tidy up in the workshop when my storage cupboard failed and replaced everything, I now can't find them. I don't know where I've put them. And it's quicker to do something else rather than to make some new ones and keep looking. I'm sure they'll turn up. Now I was just going to get some round bar and just very shallow drill and tap the end of the bar, 5, 6 MBA, whatever it is I was wanting to do, to make a stud runner. But I had a thought. I've got these nut runners which I use to run the nuts down, and I suddenly had this wonderful thought, because these are not made of anything special. if I drill and tap shallowly the ends of each of these, so for example, can't see it, this one's a 6BA, that's a 6BA, so if I drill and tap the end of that with a shallow 6BA thread, both the nut runner and the stud runner will be on the same piece of equipment, so there'll be no arguments about size. And I seem to look after these better and don't lose these quite as readily as I do odd bits of round bar with tapped holes in the end. So goodness knows where they are. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So this first one I'm doing is 7BA. Doesn't want to be ever so deep. I'm only going to drill and tap this about 1/8 of an inch deep. Definitely not a good idea to tap small BA size threads under power. And you proceed very gently, and one of the tricks is not to be tempted to force the tap in that extra half turn. Once you get a bit of resistance, stop. Maybe you can't see it, but there we are. Shallow 7BA hole drilled and tapped in the end of the nut runner, so that the other end now acts as a stud driver. And if you've got a 7BA nut and a 7BA stud, it's all in the one implement. I'm surprised people don't make these actually. Manufacturers, that is. There we go. Shallow tapped holes in the end of the nut runners. 6BA and I think that one's 7BA. So that we both have a nut runner and a stud runner in the same device, and my theory is they'll be twice as hard to lose, but I bet that's rubbish. My theory about not losing these stud runners is that I am a bit more religious about putting all my nut runners back in this little tray thing here, this bit of wood, but time will tell. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.